The Richalvarez channel is 15 years old. What the hell? The channel that was famous for their series Stupid Mario Bros. Until it unfortunately fell into obscurity. I did a few long videos about this channel about 3 years ago, and I've wanted to revisit the topic for a while, but never found the right time to do it. In those videos 3 years ago, I was a lot more harsh than I think I should have been. I was a little negative. I agree with some of the opinions I had back then, but I could have been more constructive about it rather than cynical and negative. I was in a phase of my life where I was a little, I guess just negative in general. So for this video, I kind of wanted to rectify that. I wanted to talk about the impact this channel had on my life personally, because I can't imagine where my life would be without it. I actually discovered Richalvarez first through Flipnote Hatena, an obscure app for the Nintendo DSi, where people made animations and shared them with the world. I made my own animations that were rip-offs of other people's animations, but that's another can of worms. That's not what we're talking about here. Long story short, a creator named Anthony made a series of animations that were their own adaptation and version of Stupid Mario Bros. I saw those before I saw the YouTube channel, but Anthony always made it a point to mention that his Stupid Mario Bros. Series was taken from a YouTube series of the same name. So eventually I looked up the YouTube series because I was curious. I was like 11 or 12 at the time, and I watched the series on my old iPod Touch up in my room. I would just be on my iPod Touch with my crappy Wi-Fi and just try to watch this Stupid Mario Bros. For some reason, back then, a fair amount of episodes were made private on mobile devices, so there were a fair amount of episodes that I unintentionally missed. There was like some substantial episodes where some serious stuff happened, and then I would see another episode where they just kind of mentioned that part, and I'm like, why did they just mention that? Why didn't they show that part? But they did. They were just in episodes that I hadn't been able to see. I watched the series anyway though, even though I missed out on some crucial plot points. It wasn't until later that I got a computer and checked out the episodes that I missed, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's why I was confused. At the time, I loved filming stuff with my camera, just mostly me and my brother goofing around. They weren't really actual narratives, they were just us goofing around, and that was basically it, and there wasn't like actual filmmaking to it. We didn't have an actual story, is basically what I'm trying to say. Stupid Mario Bros. Showed me that you could get together with your friends in your backyard with a little camcorder and make a story. You didn't need anything. You didn't need a huge budget. I never had a lot of friends growing up, so watching countless videos of this group of friends gave me the sense that I belonged somewhere with a group of friends. The group had a bunch of inside jokes that they let their audience in on, so we became part of those inside jokes.
$20! $20! $20! $20! $20!
This also wasn't just a comedy channel. Stupid Mario Bros. Was a dramedy, meaning it's a mix of comedy and drama. The fact that they were able to have effective drama was also extremely important to me growing up, and it blew my mind. Wario's arc in particular, from villain to redeemed hero, helped me a lot in times when I needed it. The arc is so well done. There's also stuff like the King Arthur series and the Board of the Rings that they did before Stupid Mario Bros., which were coincidentally very similar to a lot of things that I made as a kid. So when I eventually saw those old videos, it was like a revelation to me, just to see where they started and where they ended up.
Hello there.
You wouldn't happen to be related to Bob Newell, would you?
Yes, I am. I'm his cousin's brother's wife, stepniece's great aunt, twice removed, on his brother's side.
So when I was about 13 or so, I tried to make my own series called Tom Grimm. Tom Grimm was a character who was a ripoff of Solid Snake from Stupid Mario Bros., and other characters and moments were also ripped from Stupid Mario Bros. My brother played a ripoff of the character from Stupid Mario Bros., Scott Masterson.
Now, I don't think
Who told you to think? I don't give you enough information to think!
Who told you to think? I didn't give you enough information to think!
And my friend played a ripoff of Ash Ketchum from Stupid Mario Bros. This year we're actually filming a return to this series. I thought it might be a funny idea to sort of revisit it, and that'll come out at some point. But without Richalvarez and this Tom Grimm series, I never would have pursued filmmaking and evolved to where I am today. Also, before Hollywood started doing a bunch of movies about heroes we love taking the role of an old cynical man getting back into action, Richalvarez did it with Mario in The Plumber Knight Returns. In my opinion, this series is the best thing the channel has ever made. It was the first time I remember being insanely hyped for something, to where I would think about it literally every day, speculating about what would happen in the next episode. This was a huge catalyst in my creative endeavors, and at the time I wrote a Plumber Night ripoff for a school project, and I basically just plagiarized the whole story. The Richalvarez channel also made a feature film called The Clicking Noise, and that was the first time I saw someone go from no-budget silliness to making a professional film. And even though I don't love the end product, the fact that it even happened in the first place was very inspiring to me at the time. I was mind-blown by the fact that they went from these friends in a backyard to just making this film with, like, professional cameras and audio and all this fancy stuff. In more recent years, members of the channel have gone off and done their own individual creative endeavors, like Austin Stevenson, who did his own indie feature films. I did another video talking about Austin. May he rest in peace. He was an absolute genius. Matt Provenzel, my favorite actor on the channel, is also working on getting a fantasy TV show made. These things continue to inspire me and so many others to this day. Matt Provenzel in particular is really trying to get out there and make a big name for himself with all the connections he has, and that's amazing. I didn't even mention the various sketches Richalvarez has had over the years, like YouTube News or just miscellaneous sketches. They started a new series recently called Poor Life of Rich that I really enjoyed, but unfortunately that had to get canceled prematurely. They wanted to do it for a lot longer, but it only got canceled after 5 episodes. If I were to offer some feedback regarding that, I'd say make sure the episodes are low scale and no budget, because the show started off very, no budget, shoestring budget. There wasn't a lot going on in it. It was just at their house, and they were, like, filming with their roommates. It was very low budget, and that was part of the charm of the first few episodes. But as the series went on, they got fancier and fancier. And I honestly thought that the show was at its best when it was, no budget. And it was, like, just friends in their house, like, going about their daily activities, rather than super fancy and special effects heavy and stuff. I'd say don't go too ambitious, because that'll just make the show impossible to continue doing. I personally, in my own work, find that working within your limits is a very inspiring challenge and forces you to really think outside the box. That has helped a lot of my films, just the fact that I had to think outside the box with the limitations that I had, and I think some of my best work exists because of this. I know Richie said he isn't inspired to do it anymore. I mean, he's a different person than me. He's not gonna make films the same way I do. We're not gonna have the same, the same inspirations and stuff like that, but I think if they did work with their limitations, the show could continue and still be really enjoyable. But I don't know, I'm not there. I don't know what they're going through. I don't know what their creative juices are. They're different people. Nowadays, it sounds like Richie's planning on doing more stream-related content and just, his own show called The Richalvarez Show, where he just talks about, like, movies and games and stuff that he likes. And I don't know, I usually prefer the film stuff from this channel, but I understand why he has to go this way. I'll always be there just watching in on what they're doing with the channel, because they meant a lot to me and still do. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. Look forward to more videos at some point, and I'll see you then. Bye.
I love romantic dinners by candlelight.
You wouldn't happen to be related to the dude, would you?
Long walks on the beach and shaving my huge ass. It's so beautiful when it's shaved.